My name is Stephen Sindoni. Thank you for tuning into the broadcast of Reincarnation, Myth or Fact. In today's program, we will discuss reincarnation. I'd like to begin with the most accepted definition. Reincarnation is believed to occur when the soul or spirit, after the death of the body, comes back to earth in a newborn body. This phenomenon is also known as transmigration of the soul. The word reincarnation derives from Latin, literally meaning entering the flesh again or being born again. The origin of the notion of reincarnation are obscure. Discussions of the subject appears in the philosophical traditions of India and Greece in the first millennium. This doctrine is an essential tenet within the majority of Indian religious traditions such as Hinduism, Jainism, Sikhism, and Buddhism. The idea was also fundamental to some Greek philosophers and religions, as well as other religious groups such as Judaism. Reincarnation can also be found in many small-scale societies around the world in places such as Siberia, West Africa, North America, and Australia. Some scholars, such as Michael Cremo, have argued that the Indian reincarnationalist worldview may have originated in the pre-Aryan, non-Vedic culture, while others trace links between Druid, ancient Greek, and Vedic philosophy and religion, and suggest reincarnation was present in Proto-Indo-European religion. Equally early is found the claim of the possibility of first-hand experience. Several ancient sources affirm that Pythagoras claimed he could remember his past lives. Plato taught this. All learning is but recollection, because we have innate knowledge of universal ideas, and we need only recall our buried memories. The early Tibetan Buddhist texts discuss techniques for recalling previous births predicated on the development of high levels of meditative concentration. These techniques can be found in the Tibetan Book of the Dead. The Hasidic Orthodox also believe to know the past lives of each person through his semi-prophetic abilities. While reincarnation has been a matter of faith in some communities from an early date, it has also been frequently argued for on principle. Individuals such as Plato and Ben Franklin were believers in it. During the Renaissance, translations of Plato, the Hermetica, and other works fostered new European interest in reincarnation. There was some, such as Marsilio Ficino, who argued that Plato's references to reincarnation were intended allegorically. Even playwright William Shakespeare made fun of reincarnation. But for some, this belief of reincarnation was no laughing matter. Giordano Bruno was burned at the stake by the Inquisition for his teachings of reincarnation. By the early 20th century, interest in reincarnation had been introduced into psychology, largely due to the influence of William James, who raised aspects of the philosophy of mind, comparative religion, the psychology of religious experience, and the nature of empiricism. At around this time, popular awareness of the idea of reincarnation was boosted by the Theosophical Society's dissemination of systemized and universalized Indian concepts, and also by the influence of magical societies like the Golden Dawn. By 1924, the subject could be satirized in popular children's books. Theodore Flournoy was among the first to study a claim of past life recall in the course of his investigation of the medium Helene Smith, published in 1900, in which he defined the possibility of cryptomnesia in such accounts. In the latter part of the 20th century, Ian Stevenson, a psychiatrist parapsychologist at the University of Virginia, gained a level of prominence for publishing more than 2,500 case studies from around the world of children that seemed to be able to remember events in their life that had ended after a violent way before the child was born. Stevenson believed that the best evidence for reincarnation was the existence of birthmarks and congenital deformities on children, which he reported corresponded to fatal wounds of the deceased. Today's recent studies have indicated that some Westerners accept the idea of reincarnation. In Russia, over 30% of the population believe in reincarnation. Overall, 22% of respondents in Western Europe believe in reincarnation. According to a 2005 Gallup poll, 20% of the United States adults believe in reincarnation. Reincarnation, is it myth or fiction? In the 1st century, Alexander Cornelius Polyhistor wrote, The Pythagorean doctrine prevails among the Gauls' teachings that the souls of men are immortal and that after a fixed number of years they will enter into another body. In part 2 of Reincarnation, Myth or Fact, I will share with you my own personal story of reincarnation. For those of you who would like a clue to my former identity, simply watch The Legend of J.C. Brown. Thank you for watching Reincarnation, Myth or Fact.